Welcome back to Diving Into Watches. And this week we're doing a review of a watch by a watch company that I've done, I think, 3 or 4 reviews of watches they make. That watch company is Bulova. I really do love Bulova. I guess if you're overseas in the UK, they say Bulova, but in America, I'm going to say Bulova. I'll put a link down to the videos I've done before. We're taking a look at the Bulova Super Seville. This is a watch that came out in May, I think it's like May 29th, right around there, middle of May, in 2024. I've been watching this watch ever since it came out. I've loved it ever since it came out, but one of the things I've always told myself not to do is jump on the hype train. When this watch first released in this particular iteration, it was going for $695, and the price has slowly come down over time. I just do not want to get caught in that overhyped price. I picked this one up off of Long Island Watches. I'm on their mailing list, and I got an email saying, "Hey, this one's on sale." I picked it up for just under $500. I want to say it was like $495 with shipping and everything. It came to $432. I have seen it on Joma Shop for $409. They make 3 higher end ones that are stone dials: turquoise, obsidian, and tiger's eye. And the turquoise one is gorgeous, but it's $1,095. And there was one piece to this watch that I'm going to touch on the bench that takes it from being perfect killer to okay.
Oh, man.
Okay in the sense that I would still buy it. I still bought it. I still love it. I still wear it. But I'll cover it on the bench, and I'll tell you why. But this one is a Bulova, like many long horology watch companies, has a back catalog they can pull from. This one is based on their homage they did of the Rolex, not the presidential, maybe it was the Day-Date, but the one they did back in the 70s, it was round. And so when they reintroduced this one, they put it in the shape of it, they call it a TV, kind of like the Mito Multifork big TV dial watch. It's in a square shape. It has the jeweled, not the jeweled, but the I don't know what they call it, the type of call it crown. I guess I call it a crowned bezel. It has the 262 kilohertz perfectionist movement, the same one that's in the Lunar Pilot and some of their other ones. I love this movement because even though it is quartz, the seconds hand sweeps at, I think it's like 16 beats a second. So it has just such a super smooth move. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is plus or minus 10 seconds a year, or is it 10 plus or minus 10 seconds a month? I think it's a year, but someone will correct me if in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm not one of these watch YouTube channels where I claim to know everything about everything. I read up on it, I study on them, but there's so many numbers and figures going through my head. But I do love this watch. I think it's a great watch. I think at the price point that it's at right now, I think it's fantastic. If you watch this watch channel for a while, I love all watches have everything to do with military horology. That's because of my 20-year career in the military. But I do love things that are period centric, especially the 70s. And I have the Bulova Jetstar, and I have this in gold and that mustard color and the burgundy color, Ron Burgundy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
And I have this one, which is from the 70s, and it just exudes the 70s. I can hear the disco music. I can picture myself with my grandfather. He was a big man, like 6'5", with like 325 pounds, was a salesman. He could sell ice cubes on Eskimo. And he drove the big giant Cadillac Eldorado. And I remember getting picked up in that thing, that big old Cadillac Eldorado. He always wore high-end watches. And I can just picture this watch on his wrist back in the day in the big old Eldorado. It just exudes that decade. It exudes that time frame. And I love things from the 70s. Obviously, it was part of my childhood, but I just absolutely love this. I think this is a great watch. This is an extremely cool watch. We're going to jump over on the bench, take a look at it. I think you will find you'll like it. It comes in a blue dial, a green dial. I can't remember what the third dial color is. I'll put it down below. And then I also mentioned the 3 precious stone ones because of the one thing I don't like about the watch. I think it is now at the correct price point. So if you're like me and you've been waiting, I think you're okay to go ahead and pull the trigger. If you're looking to get it really inexpensive, jump over to Joma Shop at $409. Otherwise, if you want to support Market Long Island Watches, go over and check his channel out. But without further ado, let's jump over to the bench and let's take a look at the Bulova Super Seville and what it makes it so cool in all its quirky ways And what exudes those 70s, and the one thing that is to me the Achilles heel of this watch, and what I don't like about it that keeps it from being a 10 out of 10 and makes it about a gosh, I want to say 6 or 7 out of 10. I won't knock it that low because of the one thing I don't like. So without further ado, let's go over to the bench. Okay, here we are over on the bench. Before we get into all the details of the watch, let's go ahead and cover the dimensions real quick. It is a case diameter of 37.5 millimeters. That is per the website. Some other places will say 38. Website says it's 37.5. It is a lug width of 26 millimeters. It is a lug width of 47.3 millimeters. And it is at a case thickness of 11 millimeters. And then it is the perfectionist movement. It is a 262 kilohertz perfectionist movement. It has 30 meters of water resistance, so basically you can wash your hands and that's about it. It's sapphire crystal with a UV coating underneath, so it does that. And then it has the Cyclops, the date, and it's a 3-hand movement with baton hands and just a simple seconds watch. So looking at it right away, you can just see the 70s design and how cool it looks. Picture it in the round version, kind of like the Rolex Day-Date or Date Adjuster. Maybe it's the presidential, but they moved into this TV format. You have that coin-edged bezel. The case is all brushed on top and on the sides, and then the band is brushed, and then it's polished in the center. And then the case back is polished as Super Seville Bulova 266 kilohertz, and it has a Cyclops window. It's very, very legible. It's perfectly centered. I do like the Cyclops. I can read the date really, really easy. Would it be cooler if it was underneath? Probably, like the other Bulovas, like the Devil Diver that I did the review on, but it wouldn't be 70s cool. So I think that's what makes it kind of cool. It has very nice dress. It is integrated sports bracelet. So replacing this bracelet with something else is going to be, I would think, literally impossible unless some company out there makes something. It's a female end link, or is that male end link? Male end link that goes in there, and then you can see. I'm going to open it up. It's a butterfly clasp, and then you can see it's a milled clasp here, and then butterflied, and then you can see how small it is right back there, and it is a screw down case back. Adjustment is always the same. The crown, pull out to the first position, adjust the date, and then pull out again, and you can do the hands. You can see the very nice, simple sweep of that hand at 16 beats a second. It has the Bulova tuning fork symbol at the top. It has simple laid out squared baton numerals, and then you can see the Roman numerals around it and in the minute track. Some people do not like butterfly clasps because they find them hard to adjust to your wrist. What is nice about this one is it comes in full lengths and then it comes in half lengths. I need to put a full length back in and then take a half length out because it's just a tad too tight. And now we're going into summer here in Arizona. It's going to be really tight. So you can fine tune this. It has a half length on each side. And you can see that I've taken out quite a few links. I think I took out 4 or 5 links. It is a simple pin and collar friction hold in there. Now, it fits very, very comfortably. It wears very, very well. We will do a wristwatch check and let you see how it looks on the wrist and outside in the sun and in the pocket. It's very comfortable. You don't even notice that you have it on. The thing that keeps this from being really, really over the top for me is when you first get it on the back, there's a little sticker here that says Movement Japanese Bracelet China. Now, first off, before everybody hits me up in the comments, I have nothing wrong with the bracelet out of China. There are microbands. The one that comes to mind is Jody from Just One More Watch with his company Origin, Erebus. The Origin that first came out. He clearly states all his watches are made in China, etc. But that bracelet is made in China, and it is extremely comfortable, very, very well built, micro adjustment, etc. So just because the bracelet is made in China doesn't make it bad. What makes the bracelet suck is it feels cheap. The bracelet feels very cheap. It looks fine on, but it just feels very, very, I don't know if the word cheap's not the right word. It just doesn't feel to the quality of the rest of the watch and the Japanese movement. I think they did a disservice by cutting corners and putting a lesser quality bracelet on there. Someone who has this one may disagree with me. It does have drilled end links. Um, if the original price point is $695, I think they cut the corners in the bracelet. That's just my opinion. If you have one and you feel it, maybe tell me if you agree with me or you disagree with me. I've noticed in a lot of YouTube videos that I've watched that people have reviewed this over the last year, nobody ever mentions the bracelet. They don't really even talk about it. They just say butterfly. They don't talk about the adjustments. But I don't find the bracelet to be the quality that Bulova should be putting out, especially if you were to pick one up with the turquoise bezel or the obsidian or the tiger eye. If this is the same bracelet on it and you're paying anywhere from $1,000 to $1,300 for a watch, I expect the bracelet to be a lot better quality. And I don't care if it's coming from Switzerland or if it's coming from Pakistan or wherever. You're going to charge that kind of money. You need to be putting on better bracelets. Stop cutting corners and saving money on the bracelets. Save it on the damn packaging. We have to, it came in just a regular old general Bulova box. Save it in other ways, but come on. I will still wear it if I can find a replacement. I will, but based on that lug width, you're going to have a company that specifically makes these for these. So what we're going to do next, it does have lume. It's not super fantastic, but we'll do a lume shot. We'll do a wristwatch check. I am not going to put it on the time grapher because it is quartz. Even though I laid it on there to see if it could pick it up, the beat indicator, signal indicator could register that it was a signal and it was going very, very, very fast, but it can't register because it's quartz. So we will do a lume check, a wrist check, and then we will go back over and give you my final reviews on the Bulova Super Seville. And just look how gorgeous. It's kind of a sky blue, not too blue and not too light. I think it's just absolutely kills it. I love this watch. This is definitely going to be Sunday evening or Sunday day or going to church on Sunday watch for sure. Just can't go wrong with that. So let's go ahead and pop the lights off and let's take a look at the lume. Okay, there's the lume. The indices are lumed. The hands are lumed. It's not super great. I didn't say on the website what the luminous. It's obviously not super luminova. You can see how quickly it's fading. But a watch like this, I'm not going to have an issue with the lume not being that great because obviously this is not a watch that's going to be, you're always going to be trying to look at the time at night. But you can see it's already fading. So if you're looking to get quality lume, it's not going to happen on this one. So enough about the lume. Let's pop the lights back on. Let's get some wrist shots. Okay, before we pop it on the wrist, just a quick watch check. Yep, I am still wearing my Omega Seamaster 300M Professional. Still loving this watch. You can see I'm getting some use out of it. Listen to the scratches on the bottom there. But it's a tool watch. Use your tools, use your watches, wear them, enjoy them. And that's what I plan to do with this one. So been wearing this off and on solid for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. Absolutely just love this watch. I will be doing a full review on this one eventually. Okay, there it is on my 6 1/4 inch wrist. I'll make sure that some outside shots show up so you can see what it looks like out in the sun and in the pocket shot. But on a 6 1/4 inch wrist, 37.5, 38 millimeters, it works just perfectly with my wrist. I think if you have a very large wrist, this one might be a little tougher to pull off just because it's 38 millimeter. But again, watches in the 70s weren't big, and in the 80s, it wasn't until lately that the watch sizes started getting that 40, 41 millimeter. But it fits very, very comfortably. I don't have any complaints on the fit and the comfort of the bracelet, just the quality of it. I know it's hard to tell, but I can guarantee if you had it in hand, you would know what I'm talking about. But it looks just absolutely fantastic on wrist. Enough said. I think overall, you can't go wrong with this one. So definitely check out the Bulova Super Seville. So with that, let's go ahead and pop back over and give you my final reviews on the Bulova Super Seville with the Perfectionist 262 kilohertz movement. Okay, there you go. There is a up close and personal look at the Bulova Super Seville and all its coolness. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me if you have one. Do you like the watch? What don't you like about the watch? If you have one, do you agree with me on the bracelet? Do you or am I reading too much into that, or is it just me? I think that's the Achilles heel of the watch. I still think it's a thumbs up. I think it's a buy. I don't think you're going to be unhappy at the price point it's at. If you love Bulova, you love that movement, that 262 kilohertz movement, I don't think you're going to go wrong with this one. Definitely check out the colors that they have available. Check out those precious stone ones. I'd have a hard time dropping $1,000 on it though. I can think of so many other watches in that price range that I would much rather spend that kind of money on than this one. I love the stone dials; they're gorgeous. I just can't see myself dropping $1,000, $1,200 on it. If you have one, tell me what you think. Is it worth the money? Maybe this is one I need to see in person. But definitely tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. I would encourage you to go over and check out Mark at Long Island Watches. Check out his watches. See if you still got them there. If you really want it inexpensively, go check it out at Gentleman's Shop. But other than that, hey, thanks again for watching. Appreciate the channel continues to grow. It's all because of great people like you. I chat with every single comment I get. I'm just getting comments on old watches, new watches. Some of your comments just kill me. I think most of my viewers are just just practical people like me, and then some you always have the one that knows it all. God bless them. They all help the channel grow. Thank you as always. Did not drop a video last week. It was Memorial Day weekend, and I just don't do anything on that weekend. It's a time of remembrance for me, the friends I lost on the last deployment, and just remembering them and their families. So I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. As always, give this video a thumbs up and a like. It's what helps to push that algorithm out, helps the channel to grow, helps to get out to more great people like you. Stay safe. Have another great weekend coming up. And as always, be kind, be courteous. And as always, I'm diving into watches, and I'm out.